here's the thing. So when it comes to Game of Thrones, I was like, I don't know if I'll ever watch it. And here's what I do with some things. If I'm interested in something, I will read the plot of it on Wikipedia if I'm pretty sure I'm not going to watch it, or if I'm too afraid to. So when it came to Game of Thrones, I'm on season 3, episode 9, just after the Red Wedding or something. So when it came to Game of Thrones, I was like, oh, I'm never gonna watch this. I don't really have any interest in it. I watched the first season and I didn't care. And I also was like, oh, I want to read the books instead. And then I got through the first book and into the second book, I think, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on. And as soon as I put this down for longer than a week, I'm not going to remember any of this. So there's been a few things that I know happen from reading spoilers, which has been pretty funny because, like I said, I've been watching with Pedguin, and Pedguin can fucking attest to this. The whole time Jaime was a prisoner, I was like, he's gonna get his hand cut off right now. And he's like, no, like, he doesn't. So Pedguin keeps trying to tell me these things that I know happen are not going to happen, which is pretty funny. She said it for 2 seasons straight. Yeah, it's pretty fucking funny. So I'll be like, I'll be like, when does Jaime's hand gonna get cut off? Is it right now? And he's like, shut the fuck up. A few when you listed the whole show. I know a decent amount because I was like, I don't think I'll ever watch this. So did he go silent when it was actually going to happen? No, I knew it was about to because they were fucking with him, and I was like, okay, I think this is when it's going to happen. And I was right for that part, but I did guess it a whole bunch of millions of times before it did finally happen. So it was kind of like it was kind of like trying to be psychic and just saying it over and over again until I was right. Cop. And then now I'm also, and similar time that's happened is since I know that Theon Greyjoy is going to be castrated, I was like, when he sacked Winterfell and then his people turned on him and they knocked him out, I was like, oh, they're gonna also cut his dick off, but they didn't. I was disappointed. And then, oh, the other thing I hate about Theon Greyjoy is he's so, like, sexual and gross. And it just gives me, like, the nastiest fucking vibes. Because I've known dudes that act like that think that they're hot shit, and they're actually, like, just fucking grimy and gross. And they, like, touch people without their consent and stuff. Like, he just feels so fucking gross to me, his character, which I guess is probably, you're supposed to. I did watch the YouTube about it. So his friends knocked him out, and I was like, oh, he's gonna get his dick cut off. And then he got put in the X-Stockade thing. I was like, oh, he's gonna get his dick cut off. Oh, he's gonna get his dick cut off. Oh, he's gonna get his dick cut off. And now I have seen the point where, which was kind of interesting, the 2 women came in, another point where I was like, okay, I understand, but do they have to be their vaginas out? His dick gets eaten by a dragon in season 11. True. I think my favorite character throughout most of the show ended up being Bronn. Bronn? Oh my fucking gosh, my ride or die. I love Bronn so far. Because he's just so fucking funny. I fucking love Bronn. So I've gotten to the point where they've tortured Theon a bunch. Also, bitch, you should have heard me. You should have heard me. Pedguin was laughing. We were watching, Theon was like escaping with that kid from that superhero UK show. What is it? Misfits. So the kid from Misfits, which was funny, I was like, I recognize him from somewhere. He was from Misfits. And then Gendry is from UK Skins, which I also binged as I was younger. And so so when Theon fucking was hanging out with the Misfits kid, and he's like, I'm helping you escape, blah, 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 blah. And then when they fucking went into the prison thing, and he's like, your sister's here. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, wait a second, I feel like I see people in the room with them. And then he was like, psych, you're back in prison. I tell them, Penguin, I fucking laughed so hard. I was like, you stupid bitch, you dumb idiot. Did you not fucking pay attention to where you were going, you stupid cunt? You fucking dumb piece of shit. You thought you were escaping prison, and now you're just in prison again, you dumb bitch. You're so fucking stupid, Theon Greyjoy, dumbass bitch. I was laughing so fucking hard. I was like, you deserve this, you stupid bitch. I can't fucking believe you did that to Winterfell and the honorable Starks, and now you're fucking dumbass thought you were free from prison, and now you're just right back in prison again. You stupid fucking bastard idiot dumbass. You fucking dummy. It was so funny. I was relishing that. I was like, this is amazing. This is great. This is great. I was invested in it. It's true. So far, I like Jon Snow a lot, and it has nothing to do with the fact that his first reaction to having sex for the first time was to fucking eat pussy, dude. Shout out to Jon Snow. That had nothing to do with it. I just also think he's great. And then I also really like Tyrion. Lauren is saying hell yes, Lauren. But yes, pop off Jon Snow, we stand you king. You pussy-eating king. King of the North. More like king of the fucking South, dude. From what I hear. I don't know, I can't personally attest to this. So... So, I like Jon Snow a lot. I think he's cool. He's a good character. I also know the big spoilers about Jon Snow, too. But I'm not gonna repeat them. But I do know the big spoilers. And I know he fucks Daenerys too, so I know those. But no spoilers from y'all, just the ones that I know. King of the North and the South, true. And then, so, I like Jon Snow, I like Tyrion, and I've kind of liked him from the beginning because I like how, like, witty and funny he is. I love Bronn. I think he's so fucking funny. What spoilers don't you know? I don't know. I have no idea. I know a decent amount of them, because like I said, I didn't think I was ever going to watch it. But the thing is like, Ref said this on Twitter, I think. Just because I know about a spoiler, I still don't know exactly when it's going to happen. So that's kind of exciting. Like Pedwin's saying, I don't know the delivery of the spoilers that I know. So like, when something's going to happen, I don't know that it's going to happen. So for like the Red Wedding, I was really anticipating it because I was like, oh god, like, is this the moment that it's going to happen? Like, I don't want it to happen. So there's still a lot of suspense for that too. And forgetting about, like, you know, I'll forget certain spoilers and stuff like that. With Hot D, like, there's just some awful people in that too. But with Joffrey, I'm kind of like, is Joffrey evil because he was born from incest, or is Joffrey just evil, or is he evil because of how he was raised? Like, I'm not sure why he's evil, or is he just a sociopath, a psychopath? I don't know, because I'm not sure. Like, it's true, it could be all three, and I don't know if that gets kind of like explained or not. And yeah, the incest made him prone to madness, a commentary on royalty. I think also, like, if you're a child and you're put into this, it's like the same thing with like that experiment they did where they made people, some of them were security guards and some of them were prisoners, and this false sense of authority over other people made these people who were normally really good kind of be bad people. You know what I mean? Like, because you get that power, and so it kind of changes you too. Tyrion says 2 out of 3 odds aren't bad, referring to Cersei's kids being normal. Yeah, because Marcella and Tommen are really sweet, and Joffrey's a fucking freak of nature, dude. I also know Joffrey gets poisoned, and I know who does it. I just don't know when that is, but I can't fucking wait to see that happen. I'm so excited. Because, like, the prison experiment was debunked. Interesting. But, like, I I don't like Joffrey, obviously. He's very bad and very evil, but I'm also kind of like, why is he this way? So that kind of is where I come from that. And I think it's because I've watched Hot D first. And there's a character in Hot D that is probably like a product of their upbringing, and that's why they're fucked up. So it makes me curious with Joffrey, kind of like why he's like that. You know what I mean? I like the Hound, and I kind of liked him. The one thing though, I saw the Butcher Boy scene when I watched it for the first time. When I watched season 1 for the first time ages ago, and I read it in the books. And when it came to that this time, I was like, I'm skipping it. I'm not watching. I like that one part of the story I hate so much, and like actually so fucking super sad and breaks my heart. I was like, okay, I'm skipping this like 10-20 minutes of it. I can't watch any of it. Like I can't do it. It will make me feel sick for like the rest of the night. People being corrupted. I work in healthcare. There's a surprising amount of elder abuse because they're vulnerable. It's very sad. Yeah, there's like a weird power imbalance. Which part are you talking about? I'm talking about when Arya is playing with that butcher's boy and Joffrey fucks with her and then gets the butcher boy killed by the Hound. So for me, I fucking... that part makes me actually like physically ill. And so I can't watch it. I skipped it. I was like, I know what happens. I'm not gonna watch that. Which like is another thing, because when it comes to Sansa, like I think it's really easy to hate her, and I think a lot of people do hate her because, you know, she doesn't stand up for her sister, and she is like so crazy about Joffrey and stuff like that. But if you think about it, this is a teenage girl who is like, I could be a princess, I could be a queen, all of these things. She's got an annoying little sister. I had an annoying little sister. This is back in like medieval times, all of that shit. You know what I mean? I don't think Sansa should be hated. And although I did really dislike her in the beginning, I kind of was like, she's literally 14 by the time that she marries Tyrion. Like, she's a child, you know what I mean? Like she's afraid to tell the truth, or like she doesn't want to tell the truth because she wants to. Like a lot of little girls want to grow up and have like a wedding and be like a princess and all of that. Like that's a fucking little dream for kids, you know? So Sansa is like, I can't really fault her for those things because she's a child. She's a little girl, you know what I mean? And I feel like as the show goes on, she learns, you know, and she begged for her dad. And you could tell when she was, you know, begging for her dad to not be killed, and she was like, please, dad, just say you're a traitor and all of that stuff. You could tell how naive she was in that instance, which makes it easier to kind of like understand she's a kid, you know? She was annoying, but I could sort of understand her. It's just like, she's just an annoying, like, older sister, you know? And she had an annoying younger sister. But she like smartens up and wises up or whatever, and it's really interesting to see. When they complain about Jane Austen being all about husband hunting, but when your entire existence, security, and any chance of happiness depends on the man you marry, it's a big deal. Exactly, yeah. So I do like Sansa now because I feel for her, and I think it's like very sad, you know? What do you think of Arya so far? Here's where things get kind of fucky. I like Arya. I like that she has this like deep-rooted like taste for vengeance, and she wants to avenge her family, and now she's just watched them at the Red Wedding. She knows, well, I just watched her get knocked out by the Hound as she watched as she watched Robb's wolf die. So I really like Arya's want for vengeance. She wants to kill Cersei, Joffrey, Ilyn Payne, all of them. She doesn't like the Hound even while she's traveling with him. I've grown to like him. He is a messy character though. And in that, I feel like that ties with how I feel about Daenerys, because with Daenerys, what I really like about Daenerys is I really like that she is true to herself, and she is like, Ale, I'm so sorry. She's true to herself, and she has always been. So, like, she's freeing slaves. She is, you know, setting people free. She doesn't want people to have their slave names, and, like, she doesn't want people to fight because they have to, and all of that stuff. And I really like that. And so with Arya and Daenerys, I really like both of their stories and their characters. But, and I don't want any spoilers on this, I'm pretty sure that those things get ruined in the later seasons. And so that I'm kind of not excited for. But in the moment, I am enjoying their, like, character and story stuff. The Red Wedding. So when it got to the point where Robb Stark married his lady, which I didn't entirely trust her, because I was like, she seems like an FBI plant or something. I don't know if I trust this girl. So when they got to the point where they were like, you're gonna have to, you, Mr. Guy, are gonna have to marry one of that nasty man's daughters, I was like, I am nervous. I am scared. And so, they were like, yeah, we're gonna take you there, and we're gonna have the wedding. And I was like, me and Pedro were watching this, and I was like, the Starks are gonna be all in one place at a bridge. I'm like, the fucking guy that he double-crossed by not marrying his daughter is gonna tell the Lannisters, and the Lannisters are gonna be there. Like, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is when it's going to happen. I'm really worried. I don't like this. Like, I'm really nervous about this, and I kept waiting for it to happen. It did seem like a really bad tactical position, but they were, like, trying to make amends, I guess. And I was like, this guy's not gonna make amends. He's a slimy, nasty old man. Like, it's not gonna happen. So once they got there, I was like, I'm really nervous about this. Like, I think this is going to be it. When Robb was in the tent with his wife, and she's like, I'm pregnant, I was like, they're doing this so that when the Red Wedding happens soon, we feel really sad. I know that's what's going to happen. I know why they're doing this. I don't like it. It is such a good job of rising tension. I am talking about Game of Thrones still, Simon. We're playing Reigns of Castamere, but don't worry about it. Yeah. So once they were like, I am Simon, I'm yakking. Once they were like, she's pregnant, I was like, oh fuck, it's soon. It's gonna happen soon. They wouldn't tell us that unless they wanted us to really care. And then, so once they were like, you're gonna marry the daughter, and we're going there now, and when they were there, I was like, I don't like this. And then when they were all sitting down at the tables, I was like, okay, like, that guy's family is up at the table. Simon says I was fully nude in there in a non-sexual sense. I support it, Simon. I support it. So when all his family was up at the table with the guy that the daughter was marrying, I was like, I don't like this. I don't fucking like this. I don't like this. And when the wife was like, you shouldn't kiss me here because I don't want to disrespect the guy, I was like, I don't fucking like this. I knew, and I was saying it the whole time, I was like, it's gonna happen soon. I don't like this. I'm not having a good time. I have a bad feel about this one, Scoob. So when they said, take her to bed, and all of that dude's family left, and the guy that was marrying the daughter left, I was like, I don't want to watch anymore. I'm done. I don't need to finish this show. I'm okay. I don't need to do this anymore. And I'm sure it wasn't suspicious because it's part of the tradition, and they were talking about how it's part of the tradition. But as soon as that dude's whole family and his new, like, son-in-law left, I was like, okay, it's time. Pedguin sent me. I'm sure the red wedding is a different wedding. Yeah, Pedguin's like, I'm like, oh god, Pedguin, it's gonna happen. This is the one. He's like, no, it's probably, he's like, no, it's another wedding. And I was like, no, my wee-woo danger is going off. I know, it's not good. I know, Pedguin, you're not going to convince me. And then I'm pretty sure, because I was messaging Fav at the time too, because I think when it got to the point where everyone left the room, I paused it and I was like, I need a break. I need a moment. I'm not excited. I'm afraid. I don't like this. I'm not emotionally prepared. I think I asked Fav, I was like, Fav, something bad's going to happen. And then they lock the doors. And I was like, no, no, no. And then they start playing the music and Pedguin goes, do you recognize that song? And I was like, no. And he goes, it's the Reigns of Castamere or whatever. And I was like, what? And then they start getting killed. I thought you said that. Maybe it was Fav. Maybe Fav was like, the Lannister song is playing. That was your internal monologue. My internal monologue was my internal Favalogue. Because I was like, I was watching with Pedguin, who's telling me, no, this isn't the one. And then I was watching with Fav. I don't know. I was emotionally vulnerable and my deja vu got all fucking mixed up. So I made sure to point out whenever the song was playing before the wedding so you would recognize it. You're such a fucker, dude. I didn't even realize that either. So the music was playing. I think maybe it said in the subtitles. Because I had the subtitles on, and maybe the subtitles were like Reigns of Castamere or something too. But anyways, then Fav had warned me about this because he knows I'm squeamish. He's like, the first... I said it was a bit sus when they started playing the Lannister song, yeah. He's like, okay, the worst part of what happens in the wedding happens at the very start. So I was like, okay, so I was kind of prepared for that. And it's when they stabbed the lady in the belly, which I was like, that's why they told us she was pregnant, duh. And then they're doing that and I'm like, I feel so emotionally fucked up from this. I feel awful. And then they were shooting Rob. They were killing everyone. And it was just so fucking horrible. And I was like, I hate this old man. I want to watch him fucking suffer. When Catelyn looked at the musicians when they were playing the Lannister song and didn't realize what she realized, I just thought she hated violinists. Yeah, so she looked and then she pulled that man's sleeve back and saw the chainmail on it. And I was like, I thought this dude was their friend. Who is this fucking guy, dude? Like, he's some other man with short hair. Has he been traveling with them the whole time? Who is he? I don't know. And so then when she's got the daughter and Rob, she was like, Rob, like, she's like, just let my son leave. Like, I'll do anything. I'll slit this girl's throat if you don't let him leave. Rose Bolton, you goose. I don't fucking know who that is. I didn't remember. Too many generic white guy. It's true. So the Bolton guy was there and I was like, was he there the whole time? I don't remember. Thanks, Bready Loaf. And so like, then she's like, Rob, you should just leave. And she's begging Walder Frey. Sorry, I have a hangnail and I have to get rid of it or I'll die emotionally. His tits weren't out. Exactly. Argus Filch, was that him? Bitch. So she's like, let Rob go. And when Rob was looking at his wife, I'm like, Rob just lost his unborn child and his wife. Like, he doesn't... And he's got, like, 2 or 3 crossbows in him. He's done. Like, even if you bargained and they were like, sure, Rob can leave... Rob doesn't want to leave. Like, his reason for living is he's done. You know, like, you could tell in his eyes, the actor did it really well. And then when they kill Rob and Catelyn slits that girl's throat, I was like, that's my fucking ride or die. When he said mother, I know. The whole thing, wild. So she slits the woman's throat and I was like, hell fucking yeah. Still a bad bitch. Always will be a bad bitch. And then she dies. And I think it was at that moment, maybe. I can't remember. Pete. We're talking about Game of Thrones. Big spoilers. Not the new season, the old season, because I've never seen it. So after all of that, I'm pretty sure I paused it. And I was like, I need a moment. The silence while the credits roll? Yeah. So I just was like, I feel so emotionally just drained from that. The girl didn't do anything, Catelyn's evil. Listen, blood for blood, dog. Blood for blood. We're back in the day, we're in the medieval times. Mel Vinci, thanks for using Prime. Yeah. So when that happened, I was like, I need a break. Like, I'm messed up, dude. Because then also Arya was like right there, and the Hound had just said, haha, you're so excited to get there because we're so close and you don't want it snatched away from you. And I was like, why? So that happened, so then I was really sad about that. And I just... George R. R. Martin is all about consequences, yeah. I just was emotionally fucking done, dude. I was so tired. Lucky they didn't get there earlier. Yeah, that too. So, that to me, like, and I would love to know, without spoiling anything from the later seasons, watching that, for me, as someone who knew that the Red Wedding was going to happen, not when it was going to happen or exactly how it was going to happen, for me, that was still so emotionally tiring and so suspenseful and so fucking sad. For those of you who watched Game of Thrones, like, when it came out, and didn't read the books and didn't know that it was gonna happen, how did that feel for you? You could watch reactions on YouTube. I knew about it going in, it still wrecked me. In the book, when the Hound knocks out Arya, it's written as if she is also killed. Maybe it is a cliffhanger. Oh, I see. Disco says, I lost a lot of hope. Yeah, that's the thing too, because you're like, fuck, because the Lannisters send their regards. Bitch, the Lannisters can regard my fucking asshole, dude. The first time I read The Red Wedding, I put the book down for a month. I fucking feel that, Pop-Tart. I couldn't fucking believe it was happening. The music was obvious. The obvious tell. Symmetrical says, I was so mad. One of my all-time highlights, the Viper and the Mountain. I don't know that one, but I don't know what it means, so it's okay. Awful watching it and not knowing. A wild ride. In total shock. Shocked silence, horrible to watch. We had to wait a whole week for the next episode. Oh yeah, that's wild too. Never felt so disgusted as when I saw the pregnant wife fall to dead on the floor. It felt so sick. Yeah. I was in denial. I thought for sure they were gonna let Rob go and Catelyn was trying to bargain her way out. My wife and I smoked a doobie and sat in silence. Tilleron says he was shrugged about it. Tilleron. I asked, what was your most satisfying and least satisfying death so far? I think, like, has there been anybody where I've been like, hell yeah, I'm glad you fucking got what was coming to you? I wanted, so that guy that put Brienne in the pit with the bear, I was really hoping that when Jaime got her out, that when he was arguing with that guy, that he would have just pushed him into the bear pit, and I was really expecting for that to happen. Locke, Queen Elizabeth II. So I'm trying to think, like, who has died where I've been like, hell yeah, that guy died. Oh, probably the witch. The witch that tricked Daenerys about, Khal Drogo. I did like when she died, because I was like, you fucking bitch. You asshole. Mini Mazdor. Yeah. Miri. So I think that's one that I was like, hell yeah. I think I was also hell yeah when that super fucking hot assassin strolled into Daenerys' bathtub room and was like, I brought you the head of these two fucking idiots that I worked with. I was like, bitch. Yakin? Oh, the other assassin that helps Arya. Bitch, with his little streak of blonde in his hair? Bitch, who are you? This one. This one. I will give this one a name. Bitch, I will give this one more than a fucking name, dude. I know they were cast into in The Mountain as well. He murdered all of her people. See, I can kind of understand it, But then I'm also like, damn, but Daenerys like was like, let him go. But then she's also like, you know, she got assaulted like before Daenerys set her free and stuff. But the fucking mountain, I know. Have you seen Interview with the Vampire? I want to watch that one. That guy was like Fabio at first. That fucking, the two assassins, Vulgar Morlolis or whatever, these two fucking guys. Chef's kiss on the fucking female gaze, dude. You want to know what the female gaze is? It's the fucking assassin that helps Arya and the assassin that helps Daenerys. That's the female gaze. Where, bitch, he's talking about I'll fight for your beauty. Alright, it's a little too fucking submissive for my taste. But also at the same time, I'm alright with it coming from this super hot dude. Let him say it. Let him. The ultimate female gay. I'm the Voltron of the female gays. I'm the Voltron. I think with Hot D and Rings of Power coming out at the same time, for me, it kind of like reignited this desire for like high fantasy stuff, because it's not something that a lot of mainstream media feels like it does. So like, I watched Lord of the Rings for the first time last year around this time, and I want that to be my like yearly Christmas thing, is I want to watch all of the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings every year around Christmas, because to me that's like a really good memory. So I want to do that again this year. And so for me, like, I did watch Rings of Power, yeah. I did a few of the Amazon things with them. And Hot D having the non-binary actor, yeah, that's really cool too. And they're just also very like, what did they say? A Negroni, Spagliato, or whatever the fuck they're saying. I don't know, just say it. Say it and I'll believe you. I don't know anything about anything.